to your throat chakra simulation. I am your throat chakra guide. Today I will be speaking to you about your throat chakra, which is, of course, all about speaking. The throat chakra is also about being comfortable with who you are and what you do, so we'll be talking a lot about you. The first thing I'd like to present you with is this stone. This stone may look familiar to you, as you've gotten a similar one for one of your other simulations. I believe it was your heart chakra. I guess that would make sense, wouldn't it? Well, the quartz stone, in this case rose quartz, is really good for your throat chakra as well. So, I am going to hand this to you. And here you go. You can hold on to that with the rest of the chakra stones. So, now, I'd like to ask you a few questions, but first and foremost, I'd like you to tell me who you are. So, why don't you give me your name, your career, your hobbies and interests, if you have any pets, if you have any romantic partners or really close friends. I want to hear all about you. Yeah, of course. If there's something that you don't want to talk about, that's exactly what we're here for. For instance, some people can be maybe a little embarrassed about some of their hobbies and interests. Some people can feel a little ashamed of different things that that society might make you feel ashamed of, like maybe sexual orientation, that type of thing. So the purpose of the throat chakra balancing is just to help you feel a little bit more comfortable talking about it, because it's all part of you. What? Oh no, that isn't to rush you or anything. It's all gonna happen in its own time, but this is just kind of the first step. Does that help? Perfect. Well, we'll start with something fun that should be a little easier to talk about. For this first exercise, I want you to tell me some things about you in terms of how you define yourself. So it could be your job, or it could have to do with a passion or a hobby. So for me, I have been programmed with the data of a ASMR content creator on YouTube. So for this exercise, I would say I'm an ASMR artist, and this answers my call to help people and exercise my creativity. It means that I get to help people calm down and help people fall asleep. And that makes me feel fulfilled and inspired. So now it's your turn. Are you a traveler, a singer, an artist, a painter? Maybe you are a scientist or an engineer, or maybe a chef or a gardener. Anything that you might be. Tell me what you like to do. Tell me what it answers your call to do. Tell me what it means for you, and then tell me how it makes you feel, no matter what it is. You don't have to worry about this going anywhere. It's just you and me. And truly, it's really just you. I'm only a simulation after all. I like that. That sounds really important to you. And I think that that's really cool. Yeah, even if I don't understand it myself, I really see your passion for it coming out. And I think that that's amazing. And that is really what the throat chakra is all about. Is expressing yourself and expressing your passions. So the next thing I like to do is a little checklist with you. So another part of the throat chakra is feeling comfortable with, what you do, your passions, your career, your hobbies, your relationships, feeling comfortable enough in yourself. Not maybe just to share it with other people, but feeling like it's something that you should be doing and not feeling embarrassed or ashamed of anything. So I've got a quick checklist to kind of check in on your feelings about that. So I'm going to read some positives, and then I'm going to read some negative statements, and you tell me if you agree or disagree, okay? And when you think about these that I read to you, it can be specific to your career or hobby or just overall where you are in life, okay? Yeah, there's very little rules to this. Just answer as honestly as you can. Alright, are you ready? Okay. You're so satisfied with the present that you do very little planning about the road ahead. In other words, you already have the meat and potatoes. Everything else would be gravy. Do you agree with that statement? Okay. Money is not at the top of your mind because you do what you do for free anyway. Okay. Your energy is most often seated in the heart. Otherwise, your energy is a lot of the time focused on love and gratitude. Okay. Your life feels expansive. It's open and free, and it's only getting freer and opener. Okay. You create from a place of joy without much focus on the outcome. Okay? It almost feels like you're being selfish. Are you the kid who robbed the candy store? In other words, your life is so good that it feels like you don't even deserve it, which of course is not true. Okay. Now on to the negatives. You have very little control over a lot of the aspects of your life. Where you'll go, what you'll do, how you'll do it, how you'll get there, that type of thing. Okay? You count every penny you make during this painstaking chapter that robs you of your valuable time. Okay? Your energy loves being in the head. Fear, analysis, control, etc. Okay? Your life feels constrictive. No small enclosed spaces needed. You feel claustrophobic enough already. Okay? Screw the process. The product is all that matters. Okay? And finally, you're frequently resentful of kids in candy stores. Okay. So with your totals, I'd say that looks pretty healthy. Of course, there's always things to pay attention to, but now you know what they are. Things that you said that you agree with on the negative side, maybe something that you should consider more moving forward. Maybe spend more time to focus on gratitude and love versus fear and anxiety and control and that type of thing. So, thank you for doing that with me. Next thing I would like to do with you is something called alter egos. So, this is a very fun imagination-based game where you imagine yourself as different people. Let's say 4 people, for example. So all of your interests, hobbies, passions, let's split them up, at least into 4. So, for instance, I would say one alternative me. I would say where that person lives, or where I live, what I do for a job. I would give an example of where I live in terms of what kind of house I have, what kind of pets I have, and finally, what my main hobby is. So, let's think. For the writer inside me, I would live in a lodge or a cabin up in New Hampshire in the White Mountains, and I would have a lot of huskies and wolf dogs, and it would be warm, and I would be a full-time blogger, maybe a travel blogger, and it would be really fun. I would write all the time, and I would have the perfect place to do it. It would be warm on the inside, and there'd always be coffee. And that's one alternative me. Let's think. The other one is the adventurer in me. She would live in Arizona. She'd live in Arizona, maybe in the suburbs. She would be adventurous and kind and exciting, and she would always be hiking. And she would have a job where she works with animals, and the pets that she'd have would be exotic, like foxes and raccoons. And then let's see, the third alternative me would be maybe maybe a full-time author. Something different than a travel blogger, but still with a lot of writing. Or maybe a musician. I'd be a famous singer. I'd live in Ohio on a farm with lots of goats and sheep. And I'd have so many cats that would just run around the barnyard. And on the other side of the barn would be a stream that I could go swimming in the summer. And of course I'd always be singing as a famous singer, but I'd also have painting as one of my main hobbies. But you get it. So split yourself up into, let's say, 3 or 4 different selves, and tell me, what would you be doing, and where would you be living, and what would it feel like, and what kind of animals would you have? Ooh. That sounds nice. I can really picture that. What kind of animals would you have? I think that sounds really nice. Tell me about the second alternative you. What job would you have? Yeah. And where would you live? In what kind of house? Oh, okay. That's interesting. And, what would your hobby be? Your main hobby? Okay. Yeah. I like that a lot. That's got a really cool vibe to it. And how about just one more? Ooh. Yeah, I like that a lot. That sounds really idyllic. Yeah, very cool. So, now I was wondering, is there any of the things that you've said for like your dream use that you would be able to replicate in your daily life? For instance, perhaps I could still do all those same hobbies that I liked, but maybe I could move to the farm or something. Or maybe I could adopt a husky. Or maybe I could try to get a job as a travel blogger or a full-time author. And maybe I could paint more. Is there any way that you could bring in these dream lives into your current life? Yeah. I think that's definitely worth a try. Now, I'd like to write some notes to ourselves. Kind of daily reminders, if you will. I have a few different categories, and I would like to get your thoughts on what you would like to do for each of these. So, what would you like to be prioritizing more in your life? Yeah, I'm just going to write down a quick daily reminder for you. And the simulation will actually help you remember these. It's kind of like an underlying, of course you'll remember doing the simulation, but it'll be an underlying thing to think about. So maybe you will start to actually prioritize these more and not just remember thinking about it, if that makes sense. Yeah, the simulation is full of subconscious things that we're helping you with. So what would you like to prioritize more? Okay. And what else? Okay, yeah, that's a big one. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a good one too. Oops. Okay. And when it comes to love, what would you like to remember? Oh yeah, it could be anything from self-love to maybe showing more love to your pets, to maybe reaching out to your family more if you don't live with them, being a better partner, romantic partner, yeah. So anything like that. Okay. More. Self-love is so important. Alright, next, what you would like to be. Just any kind of adjectives that you would like to embody in your everyday life. Okay? That's a good adjective. Yeah, I like that a lot. Okay. Alright. Next, something that you would like to take more time to do. Okay. Some overlap with your prioritization section, I see. Okay, yeah. And what are some things about you that you would like to stay exactly as they are? Okay. Okay. Oh, good. I'm glad that you recognize that about yourself. That's a really good thing to know is true for you. And I want to, for the next one, something that you want to remind yourself that you are. So something that you don't always remember that is true for you, but that would be really nice too. Yeah, exactly like that. What's another one? Okay. And another one. I know this one's a little bit harder than the others. It's hard to remember something that you don't remember. And finally, I'd like your positive thoughts on life so that you can remind yourself of them later. Some adjectives that would describe what life means to you. Okay. Oh yeah, exciting is a good one. Oh yeah, invigorating, that's a really good one too. Oh, perfect. Thank you so much. And you'll remember those in the back of your head, even if you weren't thinking about it. Now, the last thing we're gonna do, as always, is a guided meditation to let you drift off into the next simulation. So, I'm just going to read this to you, and you're gonna fill in the blanks. Imagine you're standing on a mountaintop overlooking much of the world. When you look down, you can see. Tell me where you live. It doesn't need to be specific. Okay, and picture that. Picture your home, your city, the places where you go shopping or go out to eat. Close your eyes and picture it. From where you stand, you can also see all the way to a special place to you personally. So maybe it's your childhood home, or where you went to college, a particularly memorable vacation, a family member's home, a park that you like to go to, a museum or a zoo or something like that. Just picture something that's special to you. There's a crowd of people gathered, and they're all really joyful. People are hugging and smiling and singing your favorite song. They're lifting kids on their shoulders and talking about the importance of things that are important to you. A hush falls over the crowd when they see you there. Everyone is excited, anticipatory. With a huge smile, someone calls your name, and a cheer ripples through the crowd. An idol of yours steps up to you with a smile and puts their hand on your shoulder. You notice that their throat is glowing like a turquoise jewel. In the reflection of their eyes, you see that yours is too. They nod, and you nod back. With the same knowing smile, they hand you a megaphone and say, "Thank you, we need this." You take the megaphone, step forward, and feel the positivity of the crowd as they stop cheering and look up at you. And I want you to play out that scene in your mind. Whatever you say to them, you can talk to them for as long as you'd like. You can ramble, or you can just use one-word statements, or even long pauses. Whatever you say, they'll eat it up. They love you, and they're here to listen to you. They'll laugh at whatever jokes you might say and nod at your wisdom. They'll be totally mesmerized by your sincerity. This is your platform, your mountaintop, and it's time to let yourself speak. I'll see you